we were challenged in the speaking class to either go to a comedy club or to go on Facebook Live and do a 5-minute comedy skit. Now, you can tell, hopefully you can see I've got a little bit of a sense of humor, so I wasn't too worried about the comedy part, very worried about where I was going to do it. Well, in Stevens Point, Wisconsin, a town of 25,000, we don't have a whole lot of comedy clubs. And I'd have to drive to 2 hours probably to get to one. So I thought, well, I'll do this Facebook Live thing, right? So when I was working in the Portage County Business Council, we had a boardroom, probably about this size. So I'm not like technologically savvy with all this stuff. You know, like the guy over here I couldn't do half the stuff that Evan's doing. So I get in the room, and we had nice TV on the back wall. And I thought, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll put on the TV my website, the home page of my website. You know, that'd be a nice, kind of a cool background, right? So I figured out how to do that. But then the rest of it was a little challenging. So what I had to do was I got a table, you know, one of those 8-foot square tables, and set it in front of me. And then I put a chair on top of the table, and then I put my laptop on top of my chair so I could get it at the right height, because I thought to use my cell phone. But so I got my laptop up there, and I had the ear things you put in, and then you plug it into with the wire thing, right? So I'm in there, and I go, okay, here we go. So I hit the button, whatever, and it starts going. So I tell this story. My Facebook Live skit was a story about going shopping with my mom, and how my mom's 93, and God love her, and my parents are both living in a independent senior center and doing, they're doing well, very blessed. But when you take your mom shopping when she's 93, it's kind of like flipping roles from when you're a kid, right? She takes you shopping. So I was telling some stories, and as you can tell, I used my arms a little bit. Well, I was getting into it. So I'm using and I hit the wire, and my laptop turned a little bit. So I thought, okay, well, I'll just make sure it's plugged in and turn it back. So I'm talking. Well, then I noticed in the lower left-hand corner, there were like people typing stuff in there while I was talking. I didn't realize that you did that on Facebook Live, right? This was only a year and a half ago, maybe. This was fairly recent, right? I'm not the most technological. So I'm like, they're saying, we can't hear you, we can't hear you. And I'm like, oh, shit. I didn't say that, but I'm like, So I thought, well, I'm just going to plow through, and I'm going to finish. So I finished it, and then I was near the end, and I put the punchline in the Facebook post that told everybody the punchline of my story. So I broke out of my comfort zone. Now Facebook Live is like pretty cool and pretty easy, and I haven't done one for a little while, but it's fun. But that's one example of, trying to bust out of your comfort zone. There's a lot of other things. The teacher...